All right, welcome back. The latest coming in from the Supreme Court, which is hearing the triple talaq case, is that triple talaq, both sides are arguing. The centre tells Supreme Court the present form of triple talaq cannot stand any test of the constitution. The Muslim Personal Law Board should take back, and this is interesting, the centre represented by Mukul Rohatgi, Attorney General, saying that Muslim Personal Law Board should take back the derogatory remarks made against women in their affidavit. And it's interesting that the Muslim Personal Law Board had stated that women are emotional, therefore they cannot take a decision. While on the other hand, Kapil Sibal, who is representing the Muslim Personal Law Board, saying that the problem is not with Islam but with patriarchy. I want to connect to our legal correspondent Anusha, who's joining us on the phone line with more. You know, Anusha, two very interesting arguments made, and one where Mukul Rohatgi told the Supreme Court bench the fact, pointing out to the derogatory statement in the affidavit of the Muslim Personal Law Board where they called women emotional, therefore unable to make decisions. And on the other hand, Kapil Sibal talking about not an issue pertaining to this but a larger issue of patriarchy.
That's so pretty. I mean, in fact, speaking of All India Muslim Personal Law Board, Mr. Sibal spoke very briefly, but his argument was that patriarchy exists everywhere. In Hindu law, if a father wants, he can make a will and not give any property to the daughter. So will the court go ahead or the legislature go ahead and touch Hindu personal law? And that's his broader argument, that patriarchy exists everywhere, hence do not touch it within the religion of Islam and do not interfere with it. That's the argument of Muslim Personal Law Board. Now, coming to the affidavit that they have given in the Supreme Court, much more derogatory and offensive things have been said in their affidavit. If you look at it, they in fact went ahead and said that if there is no triple talaq, Muslim men will go ahead and kill their wives. And part of the same argument was that women are very emotional and hence unable to make their decisions. Hence, men have the power to make a unilateral call of divorce. That's their argument. So sexism, very evidently runs through those arguments, and the centre today making a plea that they must apologize. Let's see if the Chief Justice of India takes any stand to that effect. However, this matter is of an adjudication and adversarial proceedings which are going on. It's very unlikely that any parties will apologize.
You know, these are interesting developments that are taking place, Anusha. One very quick question as well, something that happened earlier in the day in court as well. Important points raised by the Supreme Court.
Preeti, I think the biggest takeaway from today's hearing is the fact that the centre has taken a leap forward and said that we are going to legislate if there is a vacuum in law. So the centre is clearly saying that if the Supreme Court comes forward, strikes down triple talaq, the Parliament is ready to take this step forward and bring a law on divorce pertaining to Muslims in India. I think that's the biggest statement that was made today in the court.
All right, appreciate you joining us, Anusha. We'd continue to come back to you for more updates on this developing story there. The Supreme Court vacation bench hearing the triple talaq case, and fascinating arguments going on.